down.
All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, without further ado, man, I would love to welcome back the one, the only, the Canadian living legend. I don't care what anybody says, man, representing, the GTA of Toronto, man. We got the one, the only E. Browning live again on the line. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing, DJ Immortal?
Oh man, I'm doing great, bro. It's good to have you back on here, man. I think it's been about almost 1 year since we actually had you on the station.
Yeah, man, and that was pretty big for me. I got quite a bit of exposure after that, and my Spotify was blowing up like the first 24 hours after that interview.
I'm not gonna lie, man. People were hitting me up, being like, "Who's this E. Browning guy? Who is he, man? Like, where do I find him?" And I was like, "Dude, here's his links." People were loving it, bro. They couldn't get enough of your stuff.
Yeah, that's nothing but love. I appreciate that, man.
Hey, man, I gotta say as well, dude, because obviously, you know what I mean. You listen to a lot of my interviews, bro. You're a huge supporter of the station, so you know how I normally kick things off. But last interview, we already learned how you got into music, bro. So 2020, man, what have you been up to?
2020, I've been grinding. I've been working on this album. It's almost complete. It's a little bit behind schedule just because had one of the guys who was going to be doing some mixing and mastering for me. He was going through some personal stuff. But regardless of that, I've been putting out singles to keep people intrigued and let them know that, I'm not just hiding under a rock. I'm still putting in that work. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing so far, man.
And also, man, you know what I mean? I know I'm the one that presented you with this, man, but I gotta say as well, man, that E. Browning is actually now an award-winning artist, man. He actually took home the Canadian Hip Hop Artist of the Year at the first annual Outlaw Radio FM Awards, man. So, you know what I mean? I'm glad I was able to provide you with that opportunity.
Man, that feels so good. I've got it actually set up in my little studio right now, so every time I'm working, it's just a little reminder to keep grinding, and it will get recognized eventually.
Hey man, most definitely. I'm not gonna lie, myself, I felt a little shisty just doing certificates, man. But 2020 was so scarce for money for everybody, bro. But I wanted to kick off 2021 the proper way. You know what I mean, by doing an award show for talented individuals like yourself.
No, it was a great turnout. It was a great show. I know I had quite a few people that were tuned in, and it was all around it was smooth. It was great for everybody to network and just being able to get your name out there, and you're looking after the little guys and you're getting connections with the big guys. So I look up to that. I want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing and shit.
Hey man, that's my goal, man. I like intertwining, independent artists like yourself in with the big guys, man. You know what I mean? It's just something I like doing because you never know who's watching or listening, right? So maybe, for instance, tonight, Little Flip, you don't know who's listening, right? So he might like what he sees and might hit you up for a feature. Who knows, right?
Fuck, man. Little Flip, if you're listening, I'm always down. No.
I gotta say though, man, Little Flip is actually a dope individual, man. He really is, man. So if you are listening, man, let's get some Canadians on your tracks. You know what I mean?
Straight up, man. I remember listening to him and Luda Screwed Up and 3-6 Mafia. Those are some great collabs.
Oh man, I remember the song Sunshine when that dropped, bro. That was my summer joint for years and still is today. When that song comes on, bro, it takes me back to my adolescent days, back when I didn't have to worry about bills or, you know what I mean, just fucking being a teenager, bro. It was the best.
Right? Burning CDs and putting them in your CD player and going wherever you're going and having it skip on you. The
good old LimeWire days, man. Good old LimeWire days.
Straight up.
But honestly, man, when you brought up doing singles last year, man, a few moments ago, one of my favorite joints that you actually created, man, was actually a track by the name of Police Brutality that actually dropped July 2020, man. I have to ask you, what's the story behind that track? And of course, where can our listeners actually purchase that today?
So the story behind police brutality, I mean, we all know there is a lot of police brutality, and there is every single day, whether it's in, Canada or it's in the States. And that was a little story. I like making stories and making it relatable and stuff like that. So I made that story up, and it was about, a guy who ended up coming home early. He got to leave work early, and on his way home, he got stopped by a police officer, and then the cop asked him for his license and registration. When he went to go and get it, the cop thought he had a gun. He got shot, and the one of my favorite lines in it. It was, now my daughter's birthday, she hates it. Falling on the day that her daddy died, by an on-duty officer, never charged with homicide. And that's just one bar that really hits home, because you see all of these killings and, you know, they get paid time off, but yet on the other side of that, a family is mourning and they're at a loss, and it's just unjust and it's not right. And me being, my last name is Browning, my dad, he is black, and I have a lot of family that I'm also white, so I have both sides that I see and I've dealt with, and the hate and discrimination and racism, it needs to stop. And if I can put my voice out there and tell a message and somebody's going to listen, at least one person, then I'm going to keep doing this.
And also, man, I agree with you on that, man. Like 2020, and I you know me, I don't like swearing during my interviews. I don't mind if the artists do, but 2020 was absolutely fucking bullshit when it came towards just police brutality and racism, man. Like I see racism every single day, whether it's on social media or in my own city. But 2020 was just a fucking shit show for it, man. And I'm with you on that, man. I really do not condone that crap, and I'm so glad that you created such a phenomenal track like that, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, man, I felt your pain, and I felt the story when you did that song, bro.
Yeah, and like the instrumental itself, it's got like, I want to say like a 70s or an 80s, like almost like soul outro to it, and it's talking, it's a beautiful song. So if you guys, you know, have Spotify, YouTube, iTunes Music, E. Browning, it's Police Brutality. Go check it out for yourself. You know, there's free ways to stream it. If you do have a couple of extra dollars and you'd like to support, you can get it off of iTunes and stuff like that as well, or Google Play. So go check it out for yourself. Do yourself the favor.
And I gotta say as well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be playing that joint directly after this interview. So if you like it, you know what I mean, just don't sit around and wait for us to play it here at Outlaw Radio FM. Make sure you go out and support the real, support Canadian hip-hop, and snag yourself a copy of that dope-ass single.
Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And also, man, taking you back to March 11th, 2020, man, you were actually set to open up for Onyx. And I know, unfortunately, that opportunity didn't come to be because of COVID-19. But I have to ask you, man, how did you actually initially land that show, bro? Because, honestly, man, opening up for Onyx, even just being able to get that opportunity is actually just phenomenal.
Absolutely. Actually, that show did go through. I was able to open up for Onyx, and that was the last show that I did up until we had like another wave. But I reached out to a big homie. He goes by the name of Peter Jackson, and he's from like Niagara Falls, Toronto area, and he's such a solid dude. He's worked with me before where I opened up for Riff Raff and Peter Jackson, Rich Homie Quan, and he was going to hook me up with a classified show as well, but that ended up getting canceled. So I ended up going to Oshawa, and I got to perform and open up for, you know, Fredro Starr and Sticky Fingers, and I got to give them some of my Chronic as well, and they ended up smoking that. It was a phenomenal show. Like, I mean, they were putting out hits probably before I was even born, and to be able to share the same stage as those legends, it was definitely a great step for my rap resume.
And I gotta say, man, did you actually have the opportunity to actually like chop it up and meet Peter Jackson? Because, man, that right there is a legend.
Actually, yeah, I consider he's pretty much like a big bro. I support him, and I go on, I share his stuff, and it's not just because, like, I'm trying to, you know, be a dick rider, none of that. Like, he puts out good music. I'm straight up person, and he recognizes that. He told me, I don't go on Facebook and stuff like that a lot, but when I do, I always see you supporting me. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna reach out to you if you reach out to me. He's been such a solid dude, and if you haven't checked out Peter Jackson, go check him out. He's also the owner of 90 Nickel Entertainment. They put on a lot of shows. That's who put on the Mad Child Canadian tour last year as well. So he actually bought a little house for Mad Child to quarantine in, and got him all set up, and he had his own studio there so that he could come to Canada, quarantine, and work on music. And like, how many people are going to go that distance to, you know what I mean, see somebody else succeed.
And I agree, man. You know what I mean? Just being able to like buying a house so someone can quarantine, man. You know what I mean? Some people will think, you know, that's pretty drastic. But you know what? In the music industry, man, that's actually mad love, bro. It just proves that he really wanted to get Madchild back to his homeland to do some shows.
Absolutely.
And I gotta say, man, I actually had the opportunity to meet Madchild, and I gotta say, I don't blame that guy for actually buying that house, because Madchild's cool as hell. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
And I gotta say, man, when we're on the topic of Madchild, I noticed that this year, even during COVID, man, you actually opened up for Madchild. I want to say 4 times. You know what I mean? I could be giving you a high number there, but from what I read was 4 times in 2020 you opened up for Madchild, man. What was it like just going on tour with him?
Honestly, it was a great time because he was always rolling with the homie Robbie G, and he's also a good friend of mine. And at the end of each show, you know, he had a little question and answer where people could, you know, interact with him and just get to know him more, have those questions answered. And I always would fire out some questions that, like, would just try to get the people, like, engaging, or stuff that I knew about that, you know, others might not know about. And it was just, at the end of the day, such a good experience. Like, I've opened up for him probably about 8 or 9 times now in total, and he recognized that. And it was dope. I got, like, his autograph with a shout-out on his poster that's actually right beside me I'm staring at. And, like, each time it's just, like, a little reminder. It's like, this is real. Like, this is real life. Like, at the end of the day, they're an artist, but they're also a human. So.
And also, man, when we're still on the topic of Madchild, because like you said, you opened up for him multiple times, man. Do you think down the line you might actually do a song with Madchild? Because I think, man, you know what I mean, Madchild and E. Browning together on one joint, I think right there that'll blow the damn internet right to bits.
Absolutely. Like, I've reached out to his managers and stuff like that, and right now I don't have the financial funds to do so, but I mean, going forward, it'll definitely happen one day.
Most definitely. So, Madchild, if you're listening, man, let's make it happen. Come on, man. Like, let's make this happen.
Straight up.
And also, man, you actually did some amazing work as well with an individual by the name of BGAT. I was wondering, how did yourself and BGAT actually get connected?
I'm still a fan of BGAT. He goes in a group called New Breed, and they're from Windsor, Ontario as well, same as me. And he's just been nothing but, you know, a big bro, and he shows me love. Like, he's been helping me with mixing and mastering, learning, like, these software programs, and coming over, and we'll work on music all the time. So we got a couple of new songs that he's going to be on my album for, and these new songs are just such a vibe.
Man, most definitely, bro. I'm looking forward to actually seeing what transpires from that project.
There's so many different types of styles. Like, there's some songs that have, like, nice guitars on it, and it's upbeat, feels like summertime. And then there's some, you know, sad ones that are gonna put you in your feels and be like, damn, like, I can relate to that. And then there's ones that are just party songs. So it's a little bit of everything, and it's gonna be a debut album. So I know I said that it was probably gonna be released by now, but with how much work I've already put in, I don't want to cut myself short and cut the, you know, listeners short by rushing something out that I don't find is my best.
Hey, man, that right there, man, is just quality over quantity, bro. So I think all of us can appreciate that.
Hey, well, thank you, and I'm really looking forward to dropping this.
And I gotta ask you this, man, because I know that this is going away from the music topics here for a moment, but I gotta ask you this, man, because, like, as we already know, we've kind of grown a friendship over the past year since our first interview, but I noticed, man, you are a marijuana enthusiast, okay? I don't like saying stoner, I like saying marijuana enthusiast, okay? And I gotta ask you, man, because what's your thoughts on Canada actually legalizing marijuana, man? Are you with that shit, or are you against it?
I'm definitely all for it, and especially the fact that, you know, people will be able to grow their own, and they can, and they have. And if you can, you know, do things like this, it's going to definitely lower the crime rates. And you see, you know, you're hoping to get a really good outcome out of it. And, like, people who smoke, like, they shouldn't be put in jail for long times, or, you know, for just having it. and smoking it. Like, it's really pathetic.
And I agree with that, man. You know, back in the day, man, I'm not gonna lie, like we didn't have a lot of names for weed when I was a pot smoker, man. We just had like literally shake for the crap. We had like hydro, indoor, outdoor. Now there's shit like Death Vader, and it's like, what the fuck, man? Am I gonna die when I smoke this?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's crazy with, like, the whole legalization, and then they held off on edibles. I don't know if they ended up passing so that they could start selling edibles, but I mean, there's lots of third parties like that you can get them from. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
Hey man, anything is better than buying weed in alleyways from weird guys that you don't know. All right, like that's all I gotta say.
For real.
Oh man, those were the days. I'm not gonna lie, it's bringing me back a little bit. But at the end of the day, those were the days, but weren't really the days, man. In a way, this is kind of better.
No, I definitely agree, and it's nice because you can get educated as well. If you go to a dispensary and you're just a casual smoker, or you could be older and have some actual physical pain just because you have a very straining job, and you can go in there and you can find something that's going to be good for you and benefit you.
And one thing I also noticed as well, and I got to say, this was obviously COVID permitting because this was right around the hype of when this coronavirus blew up in our faces. But last year, you were actually set to perform at the 2020 Winterfest Homecoming Festival with Rich the Kid. I was wondering, man, if that actually happened, what was that experience like, man? Because, Rich the Kid is another phenomenal, talented artist.
Yeah, actually, that was like a little audition. I didn't end up winning that audition. It was held through like the University of Windsor, but oh man, that would have been just such an experience because it's a little bit different than the style of music that I normally listen to. Like I prefer, old school '90s rap and very lyrical rap. And he's, just an up and coming artist who's got his own lane carved, and he's doing his thing. And I was like, that would be a blast to be able to see a different side and like try to become a more versatile artist myself and create some tracks that are going to get people jumping around in the club.
Hey man, most definitely. And I gotta say, does yourself and Rich the Kid, do you guys have any like projects currently in the works right now? Because I know, man, you're a jack of all trades, man. E Brownie does not stop working.
Actually, I don't have any with him, but there's an artist from California. He goes by the name Avi, and he was a Team Backpack freestyle heavy hitter. And back in the day, I used to watch him, and he was a part of Alien Fam with a guy named Catalyst, and they're from, I think, Sonoma County, like the Bay Area. And I got a song that's going to be coming out with him, hopefully on my album.
And also, man, I want to take you back. I read this on Spotify, and I do want to say, first and foremost, if I get this name wrong, my apologies. But I saw that from 2015 to 2018, you were actually lead vocals for Andromeda. Man, I was wondering, can you tell us a bit more about that, man? Like, were you, like, in an actual band, or were you actually just kind of, like, being a hip-hop artist for a group?
Yeah, so, no hard feelings on the name. We pronounced it Andromeda. And that was... When I first started living in Windsor, it was around 2015. I went to college, and I started working at the Keg Steakhouse. And then I met a couple of guys, Alex Petit and Josh Mativier. And those guys, one of them played drums, the other one played everything. He played guitar, bass, drums, and he was really the brains of the whole band. And they ended up just losing out on lead singer. He was going through some personal things, so he resigned from the band. So they found out that I rapped, and we ended up creating this band. And I would rap over sort of heavy metal. Some of them were like more experimental and like uplifting. If anybody wanted to check it out, there's a Facebook page called Andromeda, the same that it's spelled in my Spotify. And they could check out some of the work that we did. We actually opened up for Riff Raff while we were a part of that band.
And I gotta ask, like, by the sounds of it, I could be wrong, but the band sounds almost kind of like a modern day type Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, and some of them were almost like a little bit more heavier some days. But it was honestly, like, if I didn't start doing that, if they didn't ask me to be in a band, that's what got my stage confidence up. Like, the first time I ever jumped jumped on a stage, it wasn't even a stage. It was just the front of a floor of a corner of a bar that was packed with like hundreds of people, and I was up there like a deer in headlights. And then I kept on showing up, and I kept on learning a little bit more, getting a little bit more confidence. And I mean, if I didn't do that, I don't know if I would even be here having this interview with you right now.
And I'm going to be honest with you, man. You know what I mean? If you really go back to like 2015 when you first started doing that, man, look at you now, man. Opening up for Mad Child multiple times. Onyx, you know what I mean? Doing what you're doing, bro. I got to say, man, you progressed so much throughout the years, man. And I'm excited to see what's next in the future for E. Browning, man. Because, like, you're so young at your career, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're actually at the pinnacle.
Thank you so much, man. And, like, I've been really trying to keep my message the same. It's like positive vibes, but not all the time it's going to be positive. So if I branch off and I go in a direction where it's a little bit negative, I still like to have a little bit of that positivity sound throughout the song. So I've got this one song actually that has a Kid Cudi vibe to it. That's what I was aiming for, and I think I nailed it on the head. And I'll send it to you after this interview's over, so you could be one of the first ones to check it out.
Hey, man, most definitely, bro. And whenever it's cleared as well, man, let me know. I'll spin it as well, man. So once you actually clear it and, like, obviously it gets its, like, BMI numbers and whatnot, let me know, bro, and I'll give it some airplay here on Outlaw Radio FM.
Much love. I appreciate that so much.
And also, man, back in January of this year, you actually dropped the track, Fly High. I was wondering, man, we can probably already tell what the story is behind that track, but if you can, tell us a bit more about that. That way our listeners, if they like what they hear, they can go out and snag themselves a copy.
Oh, that hook. Like, when I first heard that hook for that beat that B. Gat showed me, I pretty much fell in love. I was like, yeah, I can definitely do something to this. It's got almost like old school Lil Wayne and Eminem type of vibes to it. And it was, I went for like an Eminem attack and tried to rap a little bit faster on that song. And it's a really good song. It's just, trying to reach your goals and doing whatever you got to do in order to get ahead.
And also, man, one thing I noticed while going across Instagram a few nights ago, man, I saw that you are now hosting Freestyle Fridays on Universal Battlezone, man. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about that. And, of course, where can we check that out? And also, if our few listeners want to drop some freestyles, how do they go about getting on Freestyle Fridays?
All right. I'm glad that you brought that up, actually. Yeah, so I got asked by Universal Battlezone. I'm a part of their group. I started as, a contestant for some rap battles and 24-hour freestyle challenges, and I ended up winning one of their contests there, and I invited quite a few friends, and, there's some solid people in there. So they reached out and asked if I would like to host Freestyle Fridays, and I was like, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. The first one was this Friday, and it was, there was going to be hiccups when you first start anything off, but going forward, it's going to be every single Friday, 2 weeks of the time. It'll be at 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the other 2 weeks, it's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you message me, Evan Browning, on Facebook, or you go to Universal Battlezone on Facebook, just send a message to either of us. If you got Instagram, whatever you use, message Universal Battlezone or myself, E. Browning, Evan Browning, and you can come out and do your thing. It's all about networking, and we're trying to build up a fan base because everybody's basically family, and we all connect and do collabs if the vibe is there. And we have producers who are kind enough to give us beats that are tagged so that nobody can steal them after the show is over. And we provide beats so that people can download them and come out and do their thing. So it's going to be done through Streamlabs going forward, and it'll be a lot easier for us just to get everything running smoothly, and we'll have moderators, and I have a good vision for it. But right now, if anybody is interested, go to Universal Battlezone, drop a like, go to my page, send me a friend request. My name's Evan Browning, and we'd love to see you out on a Friday night.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, dude, because I don't know if you noticed, but I just became a publicist for Memo Moreno of the legendary Half-Size Giants here in Canada, man. And I know Memo can throw down. I know Memo's probably gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh shit, bro, you're putting me on the spot." But I gotta get him on that, bro, because I know Memo can really bust a freestyle, bro. And I think it would be a great look as well for your platform, just having 1/3 of a legendary Canadian group.
Absolutely, that would be huge. Like, if you would like to come out and show us how it's done, like that's what we're looking for. Like, I want to be able to judge people and give feedback if I can. If there's nothing to say and they don't need anything, I'm still going to be there just saluting them, because at the end of the day, a lot of artists, they say, oh, like, that's a whack freestyle. I don't freestyle. Da da da. They got more excuses than bars when it comes to freestyling. So.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Like when I was younger, man, I actually wanted to be a hip hop artist. I think I told you this before, man. But you know what? When I realized I couldn't rap or shit, I decided to be a DJ. You know what I mean? So people that can't freestyle shouldn't rap. That's just part of the hip hop culture. And I couldn't freestyle, so therefore I dropped the microphone and picked up a DJ machine.
Yeah, actually, I saw your post when you're thanking everybody the other day, and. You remind me it's Tim Westwood of Canada, man. You're the little white guy hanging out with all the rappers and, having them in and letting them do their thing. And, like, it's just such a vibe, man.
It's a truth, man. I used to be the whitest guy in town, and then next thing you know, like, all my friends are, like, rappers and hip-hop artists, and it's like, what the fuck? Am I going to wake up one day and be like, what? Wait, that was a cool dream. Let me go back to sleep?
Straight up, man.
But I gotta ask you there, like, E Brownie, man, like, you know what I mean? What is next for you, bro? Like, I know we pretty much covered a lot of it, but, man, is there anything else I missed during this interview? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote, bro, when we stop you here live on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM?
Yeah, man, I've been working on this album, like I said. I'll say, like, a month and a half, 2 months, and I'll be able to have it on all streaming platforms. I'll have some physical copies that I can, autograph and mail out to anybody worldwide. I've already got some more singles and stuff that I'm working on in the vault that I'm just waiting to release. I'm trying to, stay as busy as possible and stay on the grind. I got a couple of homies like B-Gat and Dub, the Range, the New Breed homies, who I've got all songs I'm working with. There's another artist called Courtesy from Windsor, Ontario here. We're going to probably do a little EP or collaboration, so we put out 6 songs together. I'm just going to keep on grinding and making this music, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it's going to take me. I had, one of Mercury's producers reach out to me, and he goes by the name of G-Skill Beats, and he sent me some beats, and he wanted to collab with me because he liked my Overnight track. So I already finished up a song there, and that one's sitting in the vault. So I've got some gems that I'm sitting on, and it's been really nice because I've been learning so much just over like the year, and I can't wait to share it back with the people. I know that they've been patiently waiting.
Hey, man, it sounds like 2021 is the year of E Brownie, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Man, thank you. I'm excited, and I'm just trying to stay busy. I'm working lots, 40 hours a week, but I'm still writing lyrics while I'm at work, getting home, recording it, sifting through beats while I'm doing my job, just trying to get it in where I can fit it in,
Hey, man, you know what? Look at it like this, bro. Those songs you're writing at work, you never know, man. One of those songs could be a masterpiece and could get your ass a platinum record. And then you could walk into your job and be like, you know what? You know that song I was writing about here 6 months ago? Yeah? Well, guess what? I got $1 million. Blow me and walk the hell out, man. You never know. That could be could be your kid's college fund, bro.
Straight up. You never know, man. So, also, I want to give a shout-out to my cousin, Nuisance, Nusynz. If you follow him on Facebook, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you can go and follow myself, E Browning, that's eBrowning Official if you got Instagram. Everything else is just eBrowning. I'm really looking to network with people, and if you guys, like the interview tonight, go check me out on Spotify, YouTube. I got some music videos. I actually am going to be dropping some more music videos. I don't want to talk too much about that, but yeah, there's going to be some music videos coming soon.
Hey, man, it sounds like, you know what I mean? Those music videos are going to be another great thing, man. So make sure you actually, make sure you hit him a subscribe there on YouTube.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much, man. I mean, I don't really have too much else that I want to talk about myself. If you got any more questions or whatever,
hey, only thing I gotta say, man, is you know what? Keep doing your thing. And anytime you actually need any promotion, anything, man, you always have a home right here on Outlaw Radio FM, man. So don't hesitate to hit me up, bro. You're always welcome on my platform.
Thank you so much, DJ Moto. You're a real one. I'm glad I could call you a brother and a friend. And I'll definitely shoot you this new track that I got working on. So you have a great rest of your night, man, and it was great chopping it up with you, and I'm looking forward to doing it again, maybe a year from now.
Hey, man, you already know, bro. Like I said, you're always welcome, man. Anytime you need an interview, you just hit me up, bro. And most definitely, have yourself a wonderful night as well, brother. Stay blessed, and we most definitely shall talk soon.
Peace and positive vibes, bro. You have a great rest of your night. One love, man.